Welcome to M401, Sustaining Defensive Operations. Our focus will be on understanding the intricacies and the need for thorough staff integration in executing sustainment operations during offensive maneuvers. In today's lesson, we'll delve into the 4 types of offensive tasks. We'll also explore the unique challenges each task presents, particularly for sustainment planning. Operation Desert Storm was a pivotal moment in military history that showcased the resolve, skill, and bravery of our forces. The diagram in the lower left of your screen is a strategic depiction of the initial days of Desert Storm. It illustrates the dynamic and complex maneuvers that underpinned the coalition's strategy. The use of color to denote 3rd Armor Division's movements provides insight into the meticulous planning and execution required to navigate the battlefield's uncertainties. On the screen is a detailed operational map representing the strategic movements and deployments during Operation Desert Storm, which took place from the 24th through the 28th of February 1991. This map showcases the Allied forces' advance through multiple phases, marked by distinct colors from blue to yellow, each signifying a separate stage of the operation. The coalition's multinational effort is evident through the presence of units from various countries, including the United Kingdom, France, Egypt, and Syria, alongside the prominent display of U.S. divisions such as the 1st Armored, the 1st Cavalry, and the 24th Infantry. Let's quickly review offensive operations. An attack is an operation aimed at decimating enemy forces, capturing and securing terrain, or achieving a combination of both objectives. On your screen, the basics of a movement to contact is depicted. This type of offensive operation is embarked upon when the enemy's exact location or strength is not known. It is essentially a maneuver designed to gain or regain contact with the enemy. A movement to contact requires a balance of caution and aggression. Division planners must be adept at anticipating enemy actions and preparing units for rapid deployment upon contact. The key here is flexibility, the ability to transition quickly from movement to combat without the extensive intelligence and preparation time that a deliberate attack affords. According to Army Doctrine Publication 3-90, an attack is a decisive action with a clear objective, whether it's to annihilate enemy forces or to capture and consolidate a position on the terrain. An attack can take 2 forms: a deliberate attack where planning and preparation are extensive, or a hasty operation where time is of the essence and action must be taken with speed. Crucially, an attack is not a solitary effort. It necessitates the seamless synchronization of all warfighting functions. Each component, from intelligence to maneuver, from fires to sustainment, must work in concert to overpower the adversary. Unlike a movement to contact, where the enemy's position and strength might be ambiguous, an attack is characterized by a higher degree of situational awareness. The wealth of information in hand allows for a more controlled, synchronized, and effective combat operation. Exploitation is a type of offensive operation following a successful attack to disorganize the enemy in depth. Exploitation reinforces disorganization and confusion in the enemy's command and control systems. The enemy force's tactical defeat reduces its ability to react and adds confusion in the enemy's C2 structure. Units conduct exploitations to take advantage of this reduction in enemy capabilities to make permanent what would be only a temporary tactical effect. A unit conducts an exploitation when it capitalizes on opportunities created while accomplishing successful offensive operations. Planners should make sure that the exploitation force is large enough to defend itself, and this requires a force with a significant mobility advantage. A pursuit is a type of offensive operation to catch or cut off a disorganized, hostile force attempting to escape with the aim of destroying it. Pursuit operations begin when an enemy force loses internal cohesion and is unable to mount an organized defense. The essence of a pursuit is motion, rapid deployment of units, unyielding pressure, and the execution of hasty attacks. In this high-stakes chase, we often bypass enemy pockets, leaving them for containment as we focus on the larger prize. The operation's rhythm is marked by swift maneuvers, striking where the enemy is the weakest, taking prisoners, and adapting to the fluidity of the battlefield. This infographic may help military planners understand the area of operations in relation to sustainment capabilities. The infographic here is divided into 4 main sections, each representing a different hierarchical level: brigade, battalion, division, and corps. The color coding and varied fonts differentiate the hierarchical levels to present a clear visual representation of the frontage and the range of military units and systems within an area of operations from a sustainment perspective. Offensive operations demand an intense pace, requiring sustainment planners to continually adapt and forecast operational needs to overcome battlefield friction points. Maintaining offensive momentum is critical to prevent enemy recovery and counterattacks, with sustainment planners needing to be poised for rapid transitions, such as evolving a movement to contact into an extended pursuit. Sustainment commanders must anticipate logistical concerns or challenges, including potential threats to lines of communication and the capacity for enemy forces to disrupt with various lethal and non-lethal tactics. Coordination between sustainment and maneuver units is crucial to secure support and consolidation areas, particularly as non-contiguous operations and unreliable host nation support compound the complexity of maintaining operational command posts and supply flows. To sustain the operational tempo, increased supplies and personnel replacements must be planned for, with rehearsals for command and control, rapid integration of replacements, and proactive positioning of sustainment units to enable swift critical support. Let's look at how sustainment support may change during the offense. In the dynamic and unpredictable nature of a movement to contact, sustainment support is challenged to adapt rapidly to the commander's decisions, whether to attack, defend, bypass, delay, or withdraw. Sustainment assets must be tailored to the mission, with pre-positioned supplies and aviation support ensuring flexibility and responsiveness. For both movement to contact and attacks, sustainment forces position as far forward as prudence allows, preparing to meet the high demands of fuel, munitions, and maintenance. During exploitation and pursuit, sustainment support must address extended supply lines and increased consumption, ensuring momentum through ample stocks and rapid resupply methods, including aerial delivery. Preparations involve coordinated efforts to ensure the uninterrupted advance of maneuver forces, with rehearsals, forward positioning of supplies, and route security being key to maintaining the offense's intensity and endurance. On your screen, you will see a list of key considerations and actions required for effective sustainment in offensive operations, organized by the 6 warfighting functions. For command and control, emphasis is on planning and communication disruptions and repositioning sustainment tasks as necessary. Movement and maneuver focuses on the resupply across areas and coordination with various units for efficient use of terrain and airspace. Fires highlight the need for increased long-range munitions and the rapid relocation of fire units. Intelligence points to using intelligence products for estimating casualty rates and planning protection operations. Protection involves planning for chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear or CBRN operations and ensuring convoy security. Lastly, sustainment, and this is a partial list only, sustainment planning includes all sustainment functions and sub-functions, weighting the offensive effort by cross-leveling assets and preparing for regeneration and reconstitution operations. The slide before you outlines key considerations for commanders, emphasizing the importance of planning, forecasting, and command relationships for effective logistic support during gap-crossing operations. Army doctrine stresses the material management of mission-critical supplies, distribution asset planning, and echeloning and synchronization of support, particularly from Combat Sustainment Support Battalion from the CSSB through to the Forward Support Company, or FSC. Highlighted is the need for adaptability, with commanders being prepared for the frequent movement of supply units, as static bases are not an option. One can infer from the operation graphics the importance of having critical supplies ready for rapid distribution, ensuring logistical readiness and support continuity across the battlefield. This slide provides an overview of sustainment perspectives in dense urban terrain. It features a diagram linking infrastructure to urban, which then connects to people and terrain, highlighting key components of urban operations. A set of risk considerations is listed, including inadequate force strength, increased military casualties, vulnerabilities, and time constraints. Adjacent to this diagram, illustrating the multi-dimensional urban battlefield, including subsurface, surface, supersurface, and airspace layers. That's all contained within this diagram. And then sustainment measures stress the importance of allocating assets, planning for medical treatment and evacuation, securing bases and lines of communication, and ensuring logistics operations are responsive, continuous, anticipatory, and integrated. This slide outlines key aspects of sustaining operations in dense urban terrain. It emphasizes the importance of adapting the concept of operation for urban environments, addressing vulnerabilities of lines of communication or LOCs, and ensuring transportation infrastructure supports continuous supply through main supply routes, MSRs, and alternate supply routes. Sustainment planning involves maintaining high volumes of critical supplies, such as classes 3, 5, and 7, coordinating closely with intelligence for urban terrain mapping, and leveraging the potential for increased aerial delivery. On this slide, which is slightly out of date but still largely consistent with the Army's transition to multi-domain operations, we've outlined the strategic roles and the operational concept of providing medical aid across different phases of joint force operations. The diagram on the left explains the Army health system support through rotary wing evacuation, hospitalization, medical command and control, and area medical support. It emphasizes the continuity of care across all levels of medical support areas, from direct support to strategic support. The framework ensures integrated medical mission health service support and force health protection, including preventative services, combat and operational stress control, and veterinary services. It aligns with multi-domain operations encompassing land, air, maritime, space, and cyberspace. Note how medical support connects to the protection and sustainment warfighting functions, stressing the importance of maintaining force health protection and providing treatment and restorative care. This slide details medical support roles in offensive military operations, emphasizing the synchronization of medical functions, health threat documentation, and patient regulation and tracking. It highlights the importance of stabilizing, treating, and evacuating injured soldiers, providing trauma care, responsive medical logistics, and theater hospitalization to sustain forces and ensure continuous care throughout all phases of offensive operations. This slide illustrates the structure of HR, or Human Resources Support, detailing the flow of policy and prioritization from the Army Service Component Command down to the battalion level. It specifies that while brigades and battalions lack organic HR units and must receive HR support from higher-level operational units, sustainment brigades provide specific HR functions such as personnel accountability, casualty operations, and postal operations, with other HR support needs being fulfilled by the G1 Adjutant General elements. The Corps and Division G1 HR Operations section supports reconstitution planning, integration of reserve component or RC assets, casualty tracking, and estimation. They coordinate HR support with the Expeditionary Sustainment Command and Sustainment Brigade, contribute to annexes and commanders' estimates for operations, and oversee morale, welfare, and recreation, that's MWR programs, as well as leave and pass programs, including rest and recuperation. This slide outlines the responsibilities of the Corps and Division G1 Casualty Operations section, highlighting tasks such as preparing casualty correspondence, managing casualty databases, tracking patients, liaising with related teams or units, conducting line-of-duty investigations, monitoring court-martial appointments, and establishing battle drills and standard operating procedures. It also emphasizes the importance of processing escort requests and verifying casualty reports with HR systems. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. Take note that this video is simply an overview of sustaining offensive operations. We've talked about the different types of offensive operations and how sustainment planners should prepare. I provided some information and medical and HR on medical and HR operations, but only address the highlights. So keep this in mind. Keep in mind that this is an overview, and it's not a replacement for a thorough study of Army doctrine. Thank you.